Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on January 11th, 2023 in Śrī Māyāpur, India.
Pangun langayate girim Shri Gurum Dhinatarinam Shri Caitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Today we will continue with the Today we will continue with the compilation of the Sri Krishna Caitanya book. Today's chapter is entitled Phalaśruti. Whether or not one understands it, promotion to the platform of ecstatic love for the Lord and removal of all danger is certain. Under the section, the deliverance of Gopinatha Pattanayaka, Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila 9.116.
প্রভু ও কাশী মিশ্রের গোপীনাথ প্রতি রাজ ব্যবহার এই বিষয়ে কথোপকথন। यथा काशी मिश्र आशी प्रभुर चरणे राजार चरित्र सब कइला निवेदने।
Kashi Mishra went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and informed him in detail of all the king's intentions.
Because Kashi Mishra had a very intimate relationship with the king.
Kashi Mishra had a very intimate relationship with the king.
And he was also providing all facility to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
And he was also providing all facilities to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So he could reveal what the king's intentions were to Lord Chaitanya.
So he could reveal what the king's intentions were to Lord Chaitanya. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 9.117.
প্রভু কহে কাশী মিশ্র কি তুমি করিলা রাজ প্রতিগ্রহ তুমি আমা করাইলা।
Upon hearing Kashi Mishra's tactics with the king, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kashi Mishra, what have you done? You have made me indirectly to take help from the king. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. When the king heard the details of Gopinath Pattanayak's unfortunate condemnation, he was induced to excuse his death, in particular because he felt that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very sorry about this incident. The Lord did not like the idea that the money forfeited for Gopinath Pattanayak was indirectly a contribution to him. Therefore, he immediately protested.
Lord Chaitanya
Mahaprabhu
has been very specific to avoid taking a side
had been very specific to avoid taking sides
in the issue of Gopinath Pattanayaka.
in the issue of Gopinath Pattanayak.
Somehow, Kashi Mishra had acted in such a way
Somehow Kashi Mishra had acted in such a way
that the king now was absolving Gopinath Pattanayaka to please Lord Chaitanya.
the king wants to absolve Gopinath Pattanayak to please Lord Chaitanya. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 9.118.
মিশ্র কহে শোনো প্রভু রাজার বচনে, অকপটে রাজা এই কইলা নিবেদনে।
Kashi Mishra said, "My dear Lord, the king has done this without reservations. Kindly hear his statement." Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela, 9.119.
প্রভু যেন নাহি জানেন রাজা আমারও লাগিয়া, 2,00,000 কাহন কৌরি দিলে কছারিয়া।
The king said, "Speak to the Lord in such a way that he will not think, for my sake the king has forfeited 200,000 kahanas or kaudis." Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. The kaudi is like an American cent or Japanese yen. In the old medium of exchange, the first unit of currency was a small conch shell called a kaudi. 4 kaudis made 1 ganda, 20 gandas made 1 pana, and 16 panas made 1 kahana. Gopinath Pattanayak owed the government 200,000 kahanas. The king absolved him of this debt, reappointed him to his post, and doubled his salary.
Another king said that nothing should be told to the king to take the Navajo.
So, although the king said nothing should be told to Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu,
But I think Kashi Mishra not everything to the king.
actually Kashi Mishra informed everything to Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela, 9.120.
ভবানন্দের পুত্র সব মোর প্রিয়তম, ইহা সবাকারে আমি দেখি আত্মসম।
Informed Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu that all the sons of Bhavananda Rai are especially dear to me. I consider them like members of my family.
So the king didn't want to convey.
So the king didn't want to complain.
Didn't want to convey. Didn't want to convey
To
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
through Caitanya Mahaprabhu
that all these sons
of all the sons of Bhavananda Rai
are very dear to him.
were very dear to him.
Since all the sons of Rai are very devoted to Lord Chaitanya,
Since all the sons of Bhavananda Rai were very devoted to Lord Chaitanya.
this is also a very important fact.
This is also a very important fact. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela, 9.121.
অতএব যাহা যাহা দেই অধিকার, খায় পিয়ে লুটে বিলায় না করো বিচার।
Therefore, I have appointed them collectors in various places, and although they spend the government's money, eat, drink, and plunder and distribute it as they like, I do not take them very seriously. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela, 9.122.
পূর্বে প্রতাপরুদ্রের অনুগ্রহে রাজ মহেন্দ্রীর ভূমি অধিকারী রূপে রাম রায়ের নিয়োগ। রাজ মহেন্দ্রে রাজা কইনু রাম রায়, যে খাইল যে বা দিল নাহি লেখা যায়।
I made Ramananda Rai the governor of Rajmundry. There is practically no account of whatever money he took and distributed in that position. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Near Rajmundry is a famous railway station. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati notes that the present Rajmundry city is located on the northern bank of the Godavari. At the time when Ramananda Rai was governor, however, the state capital, which was known as Vidyanagara or Vidyapura, was located on the southern side of the Godavari at the confluence of the Godavari and the sea. That was the part of the country which at that time was known as Rajamundri. North of Kalinga Desha is Utkalinga or the state of Orissa. The capital of southern Orissa was known as Rajamundri, but now the location of Rajamundri has changed.
In the modern India, Rajamundri is a major city in the state of Andhra Pradesh.
In the modern India, Rajamundri is a major city in the state of Andhra Pradesh.
And we have a very opulent temple there
And we have a very opulent temple there,
with Nitai Gaur,
Radha Gopinath,
Radha Gopinath,
Balaji.
Balaji.
With Nitai Gaur, Radha Gopinath, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra and Balaji. In Dasavatar. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.123.
গোপীনাথ এই মতো বিষয় করিয়া 2-4 লক্ষ কাহন রহে তো খাইয়া।
Having been appointed collector, Gopinath in the same way also generally spends 200,000 to 400,000 kahanas as he likes. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.124.
কিছু দেয় কিছু না দেয় না করি বিচার, জানা সহিত অপৃত্যে দুঃখ পাইল এইবার।
Gopinath Pattanayak would collect some and pay some, spending it at will, but I would not consider this very seriously. This time, however, he was put into trouble because of a misunderstanding with the prince.
So the king was forgiving Gopinath Pattanayak.
So the king was forgiving Gopinath Pattanayak,
Although he was acting irresponsibly.
although he was acting irresponsibly.
But this time, he made fun of the prince.
But this time he made fun of the prince.
Therefore, he put to suffer.
So therefore he was put to suffer. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.125.
জানায় তো কইলা ইহা মুই নাহি জানো, ভবানন্দের পুত্র সবে আত্মসম মানো।
The prince created this situation without my knowledge, but actually I consider all the sons of Bhavananda Rai to be like my relatives.
Although Bhavananda Rai and his sons are technically in a Sudra category,
Although Bhavananda Rai and his sons are technically in the Shudra category,
but because of their intimate relationship with the king,
because of their intimate relationship with the king,
they get higher responsibilities.
they were given high responsibilities. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.126.
তাহা লাগি দ্রব্য ছাড়ি ইহা মাত মানে, সহজেই মোর প্রীতি হয় তাহা শনে।
Because of my intimate relationship with them, I have absorbed Gopinath Pattanayak of all his debts. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not know this fact. Whatever I have done is because of my intimate relationship with the family of Bhavananda Rai.
So, King Rudra is stating that
So King Prataprudra is stating that
because of the intimate relationship with the family of Bhavananda Rai,
Because of the intimate relationship with the family of Bhavananda Rai,
he forgave
he forgave
Gopinath Pattanayaka.
Gopinath Pattanayaka.
So Lord Caitanya shouldn't feel bad.
So Lord Caitanya shouldn't feel bad. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 9.127.
রাজার দৈন্য শ্রবণে প্রভুর হর্ষ, সপুত্র রায় ভবানন্দের আগমন, সদৈন্যে প্রভু কৃপা মাহাত্ম জ্ঞাপন। শুনিয়া রাজার বিনয় প্রভুর আনন্দ, হেন কালে আইলা তথা রায় ভবানন্দ।
Having heard from Kashi Mishra all the statements concerning the king's mentality, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. At that time, Bhavananda Rai arrived there. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 9.128.
পঞ্চপুত্র সহিতে আসি পরিলা চরণে, উঠাইয়া প্রভু তারে কইলা লিঙ্গনে।
Bhavananda Rai, along with his 5 sons, fell at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, who lifted him up and embraced him.
So Bhavananda and his sons were so dear to Lord Caitanya.
So Bhavananda Rai and his sons were so dear to Lord Caitanya.
When he bowed down or lifted them up and embraced her.
When they bowed down, the Lord lifted them up and embraced them.
I thought this special mercy by Lord Caitanya is most valuable.
So this special mercy of Lord Caitanya is most valuable. Prabhu, on the orange pillar. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 9.129.
রামানন্দ রায় আদি সবাই মিলিলা, ভবানন্দ রায় তবে বলিতে লাগিলা।
Thus Ramananda Rai, all his brothers, and his father met Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Bhavananda Rai began speaking. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 9.130.
সব অংশে ভবানন্দের প্রভু পদে আত্মবিক্রয় উক্তি। তোমার কিঙ্করে সব মোর কুল, এ বিপদে রাখি প্রভু পুনঃ নীলামূল।
All these members of my family, he said, are your eternal servants. You have saved us from this great danger. Therefore, you have purchased us for a proper price.
In this material world,
So even in this material world,
everyone's have a relationship with the Supreme Personality.
everyone has a relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
But in most cases,
But in most cases,
that's dormant.
that's dormant.
But in the case of Bhavananda Rai and his family,
But in the case of Bhavananda Rai and his family,
it's very active,
that it is very active.
very awakened.
It was awakened.
Hari.
It was very awakened. Śrī Caitanya,
And they're expressing their complete dependence and on the Lord.
so they are expressing their complete dependence on the Lord.
And appreciation that saving was due to his work.
And they are appreciating that their saving was due to His mercy.
So they have purchased.
So they had been purchased. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 9.131.
পঞ্চ পাণ্ডবের বিপদ উদ্ধারণের উপমা দিয়া প্রভুর ভক্ত বাৎসল্য বর্ণন। ভক্ত বাৎসল্য এবে প্রকট করিলা, পূর্বে যেন পঞ্চ পাণ্ডবে বিপদে তারিলা।
You have now demonstrated your love for your devotees, just as when you previously saved the 5 Pandavas from great danger.
Lord Krishna had promised Queen Kunti
So Lord Krishna had promised Queen Kunti
that her 5 sons would survive the Kṛṣṇa war.
that her 5 sons would survive the Kurukshetra war.
I think almost everyone was killed in that war,
Actually, almost everyone was killed in that war.
but somehow Krishna saved 5 sons of Pandava.
Somehow Krishna saved the 5 sons of Pandu.
All right, is feeling the same way.
So Bhavananda Rai is feeling the same way.
Recently saw the grateful, the guy in the Lord saving us from so many dangers.
So we should be grateful to the Lord for saving us from so many dangers.
Material world is full of dangers.
Material world is full of dangers.
By the mercy of Lord Caitanya, one can be and survive all these dangers.
By the mercy of Lord Caitanya, one can survive all these dangers. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.132.
গোপীনাথের উদ্ধার হেতু কৃতজ্ঞতা জ্ঞাপন, প্রভুর মহিমা গান। নেত দটি মাথে গোপীনাথ চরণে পড়িয়া, রাজার কৃপা বৃত্তান্ত সকল কহিলা।
Gopinath Pattanayak, his head covered with a silken wrapper, fell at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and described in detail the king's mercy toward him. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.133.
বাকি কৌরি বাদার দ্বিগুণ বর্তন কইলা, পুনঃ বিষয় দিয়া নেত দটি পরাইলা।
The king has excused me for the balance due, he said. He has reappointed me to my post by honoring me with the silken cloth and has doubled my salary.
And received so much mercy from the king.
So Gopinath Pattanayak has received so much mercy from the king.
He appreciates this is all possible by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya.
And he appreciates that this is all possible by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.134.
কহা চাঙ্গের উপর সেই মরণ প্রমাণ, কাহা নেত দটি পুনঃ এসব প্রমাণ।
I was lifted upon the Changa to be killed, but instead I was honored with the silken cloth. This is all your mercy.
There you go. You just said it.
Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.135.
চাঙ্গের পরে তোমার চরণ ধ্যান কইলু, চরণ স্মরণ প্রভাবে এই ফল পাইলু।
On the Changa, I began meditating upon your lotus feet, and the power of that remembrance has yielded all these results.
These results all material.
These results are all material.
What to think of a real result of meditating on Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet.
What to speak of the real results of meditating on Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet.
Real spontaneous ecstatic love for Kṛṣṇa.
One would get pure, spontaneous, ecstatic love for Krishna.
Rivo.
Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.135.
136.
136. Shama Kuru. You want to finish?
লোকে চমৎকার মোর এসব দেখিয়া প্রশংসে তোমার কৃপা মহিমা গাইয়া
Struck with wonder by my affairs, the populace is glorifying the greatness of your mercy.
So, general populace could understand, and this is all by the mercy of Lord Caitanya.
So the general populace could understand this is all by the mercy of Lord Caitanya. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.137. I think we can finish it today. Looks like that.
গৌর স্মরণের মুখ্য ফল গৌর প্রীতি গৌণ ফল বিষয় সুখ কিন্তু তোমার স্মরণের নহে এই মুখ্য ফল ফল আবাস এই যাতে বিষয় চঞ্চল
However, my Lord, these are not the principal results of meditating upon your lotus feet. Material opulence is very flickering. Therefore, it is simply a glimpse of the results of your mercy. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. One can achieve the highest perfection of life simply by meditating upon the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Generally, people are concerned with the four religious principles, namely religion, material opulence, sense gratification, and liberation. However, as indicated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Dharma Prochita Kaitavotra, success in these four kinds of material and spiritual gain are not the true results of devotional service. The true result of devotional service is actual development of one's dormant love for Krishna in every circumstance. By the mercy of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Gopinath Pattanai could understand that the material benefits he had achieved were not the ultimate result of meditating upon his lotus feet. The true result comes when one is detached from material opulences. Therefore, Gopinath Pattanai prayed to the lotus feet pray to the Lord for such detachment.
In the fourth verse of Lord Chaitanya's Shikshashtaka,
In the fourth verse of Lord Chaitanya's Sikshashtakam,
he prays that we can just serve the Lord in the life after life.
he prays that he can just serve the Lord even life after life. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.138.
গৌর কৃপা ফলে রামানন্দ ও বাণীনাথের নিষ্কিঞ্চনতা রাম রায়ে বাণীনাথে কইলা নির্বিষয় সেই কৃপা মতে নাহি যাতে ওইছে হয়
Your real mercy has been granted to Ramananda Rai and Vaninath Rai, for you have detached them from material opulence. I think that I have not been favored by such mercy.
শুদ্ধ কৃপা কর গোসাই গুছাও বিষয় নির্বিঘ্ন হইল মতে বিষয় না হয়
Kindly bestow upon me your pure mercy so that I may also become renounced. I am no longer interested in material enjoyment.
Very great material opulence to near-death experience,
From very great material opulence to near-death experience,
and then to material opulence.
and then to material opulence.
Gopinath Pattanai to realize these material affairs are very flickering
So,
nature.
so Gopinath Pattanai could realize that these material affairs are very flickering in nature.
He wanted the mercy of pure bhakti
And he wanted the mercy of pure bhakti
and detachment from all material things.
and detachment for all material things.
Jai.
Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 9.140.
ভাজ্য সন্ন্যাস বেশের প্রতি প্রভুর অনাদর। গোপীনাথকে তৎ অধিকারী জ্ঞানে গৃহস্থ আশ্রমে থাকিয়াই হরিভজনের আদেশ। প্রভু কহে সন্ন্যাসী যবে হইবা পঞ্চজন, কুটুম্ব বাহুল্য তোমার কে করে ভরণ।
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if you all adopt the renounced order and lose interest in dealing with pounds, shillings and pence, who will take charge of maintaining your large family?
So Prabhupada, in a letter
Srila Prabhupada in a letter
in 1972
in 1972
said that there are so many women who are becoming devotees,
said that there are many women who are becoming devotees,
and we also have to give them shelter,
and we also have to give them shelter.
and that they need, for most women, they need their husbands,
So most women, they need husbands,
and that giving us shelter has to be done.
and that giving of shelter has to be done. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 9.141.
সিদ্ধ গৌরদাসগণের গৃহস্থ ও সন্ন্যাস বেশে নিরপেক্ষ হইয়া সর্ব অবস্থায় কৃষ্ণ ভজন শিক্ষাদান। মহাবিষয় কর কিবা বিরক্ত উদাস, জন্মে জন্মে তুমি পঞ্চ মোর নিজ দাস।
Whether you are involved in material activities or completely renounced, become completely renounced, You, 5 brothers, are all my eternal servants, birth after birth. Very bold. Bhavananda Rai and family ki jai. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments that one should always remember that he is eternally a servant of Kṛṣṇa. Whether one is engaged in material activity involving pounds, shillings and pence, or is in the renounced order, he should always think that he is an eternal servant of God, for that is the real position of the living being. Both taking sannyasa and dealing in pounds, shillings and pence are external affairs. In any condition, one should always consider how to please and satisfy Kṛṣṇa. Thus, even if one is involved in great material affairs, he will not become attached. As soon as one forgets that he is an eternal servant of Kṛṣṇa, he becomes involved in material attachments. However, if one is always conscious that Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Master and that he is an eternal servant of Kṛṣṇa, he is a liberated person in any condition. Entangling material activities will not affect him.
So the importance for everyone to consider themselves always in any situation eternal servant of Kṛṣṇa.
So we want everyone to consider themselves always at any situation as an eternal servant of Kṛṣṇa.
In this way, they'll be transcendently situated.
In this way, they will be transcendently situated. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 9.142.
গোপীনাথকে রাস প্রতি কর্তব্যতা ও শুক্ল অর্থা অর্জন পূর্বক ব্যায়াদের জন্য নৈতিক ধর্ম উপদেশ। কিন্তু মোর করিহ এক আজ্ঞা পালন, ব্যয় না করিহ কিছু রাজার মূলধন।
However, just obey one order from me. Do not spend any of the king's revenue. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. When a person forgets his position as an eternal servant of Krishna, he commits many sinful activities. But one who maintains his position as an eternal servant of Krishna cannot deviate from the path of morality, religion, and ethics. At the present, people all over the world, especially in India, have forgotten their relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His eternal servants. Therefore, the principles of morality, religion, and ethics have almost disappeared. This situation is most unprofitable for human society. Therefore, everyone should try to accept Krishna consciousness and follow the principles of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu.
How one can always maintain the platform of spirituality, morality, and ethics.
So, how can one always maintain the platform of spirituality, morality, and ethics?
That Prabhupada has mentioned by always thinking of oneself as eternal servant of Krishna.
That Srila Prabhupada has mentioned by always thinking ourselves as eternal servants of Krishna.
That knowledge is needed to be spread throughout society.
That knowledge needed to be spread throughout the society.
That will create ethics, morality, and spirituality.
And that would create ethic, morality, and spirituality. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.143.
রাজার মূলধন দিয়া যে কিছু লভ্য হয়, সেই ধন করিহ নানা ধর্মে কর্মে ব্যয়।
First, you should pay the revenue due the king, and then you may spend the balance for religious and fruitive activities. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.144.
অসৎ ব্যয় না করিও যাতে দুই লোক যায়, এত বলি সবাকারে দিলেন বিদায়।
Don't spend a farthing for sinful activities, for which you will be the loser both in this life and the next. After saying this, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu bade them farewell.
Out of this, we can understand
So from this we can understand
how Lord Caitanya didn't want his followers
how Lord Chaitanya didn't want his followers
to commit any sinful acts.
to commit any sinful acts.
He was condoning spending on religious activities,
So he was condoning on spending on religious activities,
spending on maintenance of family and fruitive activities,
and spending on family and fruitive activities,
but not to do anything
and not to do anything
sinful.
sinful. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.145.
বিষয় বর্ধনের সহিত প্রভুর অমন্দ উদয় দয়াই কৃপা বৃহত্ত, তাহাতে প্রভুর ভক্ত বৎসতা জ্ঞাপন। রায়ের ঘরে প্রভুর কৃপা বিবর্ত কহিল, ভক্ত বাৎসল্য গুণ যাতে ব্যক্ত হইল।
Thus the mercy of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu was spoken in the family of Bhavananda Rai. That mercy was clearly demonstrated, although it appeared to be something different. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The result of advancement in spiritual knowledge is not material improvement, but Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu advised Gopinath Pattanayak how to use material opulence without incurring reaction to sinful life. From this advice, it appeared that the Lord encouraged Gopinath Pattanayak to enhance his material condition. Actually, however, he did not. In fact, this was but a manifestation of his great affection for his devotee.
Here we see the Lord Chaitanya.
So here we see that Lord Chaitanya,
He advised that for those who always consider themselves as a servant of Kṛṣṇa,
he advised that for those who always consider themselves as the servants of Kṛṣṇa,
they are very dear to him,
that they are very dear to him.
whether they are renounced or whether they are maintaining the family.
Whether they are renounced, whether they are maintaining their family.
What do you want to know? Maintaining the family is all right,
So if you want to maintain the family, it's alright,
but one should not extend on sinful activities.
but one should not spend on sinful activity. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.147.
9.146 সবাই আলিঙ্গিয়া বিদায় যবে দিলা হরিধ্বনি করি সব ভক্ত উঠি গেলা
Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu embraced them all and bade them farewell. Then all the devotees got up and left, loudly chanting the holy name of
Haribo!
Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela.
We can see in these practical dealings
So we can see in the practical dealings
how Lord Chaitanya, he was encouraging everyone to always be Krishna conscious.
how he was encouraging everyone always to be in Krishna consciousness.
Whether they were in the renounced order
Whether they were in the renounced order
or whether they were grihasthas.
or whether they were grihasthas. 9.147.
প্রভুর ব্যবহার না বুঝিয়া সকলের বিস্ময় ভক্তগণকে প্রভুর বিদায় দান প্রভুর কৃপা দেখি সবার হইল চমৎকার তাহারা বুঝিতে না রে প্রভুর ব্যবহার
Seeing the extraordinary mercy of the Lord granted to the family of Bhavananda Rai, everyone was struck with wonder. They could not understand the behavior of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu.
See how Lord Chaitanya is so affectionate
Seeing how Lord Chaitanya is so affectionate
to the family of Bhavananda Rai.
to the family of Bhavananda Rai,
The devotees will become enthused
the devotees would become enthused
to take the full shelter of Lord Chaitanya.
to take the full shelter of Lord Chaitanya
Receive his causeless mercy.
and receive his causeless mercy. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.148.
গোপীনাথ উদ্ধার লীলায় প্রভুর গূঢ় আচরণ রহস্য ও তাৎপর্যপূর্ণ এক আদৌ গোপীনাথ উদ্ধারে অসম্মতি দুই গোপীনাথ উদ্ধারান্তে তাহাকে অশুল্ক বিত্ত অর্জন জন্য তিরস্কার তিন বিরক্ত সন্ন্যাসী বৈষ্ণবের আদর্শরূপে বিষয় কথারূপ নির্জনতা বা দুঃসঙ্গ ত্যাগ ইচ্ছা চার গোপীনাথের বিষয় বর্জন পাঁচ বিষয় ভোগ ভীত গোপীনাথকে গৃহ অবস্থান বা গৃহত্যাগ এবং সর্ব অবস্থাতেই কৃষ্ণ ভজন যোগ্যতা শিক্ষা দান
Good Maharaj, you want to translate these 5 things?
তারা সবে যদি কৃপা করিতে সাধিল, আমা হইতে কিছু নহে প্রভু তবে কহিল।
Indeed, when all the devotees had requested the Lord to bestow his mercy upon Gopinath Pattanayak, the Lord had replied that he could do nothing. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, when a person is sinful, he loses both the chance for spiritual advancement and the chance for material opulence. If one enjoys the material world for sense gratification, he is certainly doomed. Advancement in material opulence is not the direct mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nevertheless, it indicates the indirect mercy of the Lord. For even a person too attached to material prosperity can gradually be detached and raised to the spiritual platform. Then he can offer costless mercy, purified service to the Lord. When Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Ama hoite kichu nohe," okay, it is not my business to do anything. He set the ideal example for a person in the renounced order. If a sannyasi takes the side of a Vishayi, a person engaged in material activities, his character will be criticized. A person in the renounced order should not take interest in material activities, but if he does so out of affection for a particular person, that should be considered his special mercy.
So, in the prologue to this verse,
So in the prologue to this verse,
some examples of the behavior of Lord Chaitanya are given.
certain example of the behavior of Lord Chaitanya is given, the right one.
Some of these were explained in the purport.
Some of these were explained in the purport.
And showing a perfect example of a Vaishnava sannyasi.
Showing a perfect example of a Vaishnava sannyasi,
He said he would not be involved.
he said that he would not be involved,
but
but
at the end it said, if he shows mercy,
in the end it says, if he shows mercy,
that's his special mercy.
that is his special mercy. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.149.
গোপীনাথের নিন্দার আপন নির্ভেদ, এই মাত্র কহিল ইহার না বুঝিবে ভেদ।
I have simply described the chastisement of Gopinath Pattanayak and Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's indifference. But the deep meaning of this behavior is very difficult to understand.
Kṛṣṇa Shaldevat can explain the external happenings.
So Krishnadas Kaviraj, he explained the external happenings.
Actually, to understand really what Lord Chaitanya was thinking,
But actually to understand really what Lord Chaitanya was thinking
not so easy.
is not so easy.
And many things will be happening.
So many things were being happening, was happening.
Like this expression, Lord, mercy is very difficult to understand.
How just expressing how the Lord's mercy is very difficult to be understood. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.150.
কাশী মিশ্রে নাশা দিল, রাজারে নাশা দিল, ও যোগ বিনা মহাপ্রভু এত ফল দিল।
Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu gives so much to Gopinath Pattanayak without directly making requests or either Kashi Mishra or the king.
Lord Chaitanya he didn't do anything directly.
Lord Chaitanya, he didn't do anything directly,
Either to the king or to Kṛṣṇa.
either to the king or Kashi Mishra.
But somehow, Gopinath Patanayak, he had so much mercy.
But somehow Gopinath Patanayak, he had so much mercy. He got so much mercy.
How the Lord, he does things
How the Lord, he does things
in one way, what do you expect in the opposite way?
how he does things in one way, but it is expressed in another way. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Anti Lila 9.151.
কাম ভোগে অচঞ্চল চৈতন্য খ্রিস্টেরই চৈতন্য চরিত মর্মার্থ অনুভবে যোগ্যতা চৈতন্য চরিত্র এই পরম গম্ভীর সেই বোঝে তার পদে যার মন ধীর।
The intentions of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu are so deep that one can understand them only if he has complete faith in service to the lotus feet of the Lord. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Lila 9.152.
I say this part slow. You say these words that hard to hear. This red.
Okay. The rate.
ভগবানের ভক্ত বাৎসল্য বৃত্তান্ত শ্রবণে অনর্থ নিবৃত্তি ও ভগবানে প্রেমোদয়। যে ইহা শোনে প্রভুর বাৎসল্য প্রকাশ প্রেম ভক্তি পায় তার বিপদ যায় না।
Haribo, Udwani. Whether or not one understands it, if one hears of this incident concerning the activities of Gopinath Patanayak and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's causeless mercy upon him, certainly he will be promoted to the platform of ecstatic love for the Lord, and for him all dangers will be nullified. Whether or not one understands it, promotion to the platform of ecstatic love for the Lord and removal of all dangers.
The materialists will never like this history.
So the materialists, whether they like this history,
They will definitely like this.
oh, they
Will not
sorry,
like receive so many benefits.
Gopinath Patanayak received so many benefits. The materialists definitely they like this history,
But Gopinath Patanayak, he realized that the real blessing of the Lord is to have spontaneous love for Krishna.
but Gopinath Patanayak, he realized that the real blessing of the Lord is to have spontaneous loving devotion.
And one just hears about these activities,
If he just hears about these activities,
they can achieve this prema bhakti.
they can achieve this prema bhakti.
Haribo.
Haribo.
Thus ends the chapter entitled Phalaśruti. Whether or not one understands it, promotion to the platform of ecstatic love for the Lord and removal of all dangers is certain. Under the section, the deliverance of Gopinath Patanayak. So we ended the section.
Ready to always think of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya.
So therefore, who's ready to always think of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya?
Haribo.
Thank you.
Gauraka. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching our videos. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.